As this is the last occasion, madam, on which I shall speak in this honorable house as one of its members, I beg your leave under Rule 98 to make this personal statement in the form of a communication. 41 years ago, Madam Speaker, before some honorable members sitting here were even born, I entered this chamber for the first time to begin what I could little have known then would become for me the journey of a lifetime. I was all of 26 then, young, ambitious, bristling with energy and idealism, and oh so full of hope for the future. As fate would have it, I had just a few days before been elected parliamentary leader of my own party. And so it was, with this added burden and honor, that on the 9th of July, 1956, I strode into this honorable house for the first time as one of its members in the company of 5 Progressive Liberal Party colleagues, Milo Butler Sr., Cyril Stevenson, Clarence Bain, Randall Fawkes, and Sammy Isaacs, to begin my life's work in these august halls of power. It is too hard to believe that that was 41 years ago. For Winston Churchill once said that a fortnight in politics is like a lifetime. And by that calculation, it could well be said that I have spent something of an eternity in politics. But alas, Madam Speaker, it is time now to close the book and say goodbye. As I look around this chamber for the last time, you will indulge me if I say that I see before me not only the faces of honorable members here assembled, but the faces of all those friends and foes who, at various times over the past 40 years, lay claim to the high honor of representing some section of the Bahamian people in this ancient and honorable assembly. Their voices, with few exceptions, madam, have long been stilled by death's rude hand. The antagonism which once upon a time we bore one another have long since dissolved, and the smoke from the distant time in which we battled here has long since cleared. But today I remember them all, the friends and the foes, whose voices, whose ideas, and whose love for their country once illuminated this arena, but who today live on only in the memories of those of us who knew them. Men indeed, men like Milo Butler Sr., Stafford Sands, Henry Taylor, Roland Simonet, Clarence Bain, Harold Christie, Sammy Isaacs, Eugene DePuch, Spurgeon Bethel, Carlton Francis, Asa Pritchard, Preston Albury, Shadrach Morris, Garnet Lavarity, Sinclair Oughton, George Thompson, Trevor Kelly, Simeon Bowe, Cecil Wallace Whitfield. Brave men and patriots all, who, with dozens of other good men, and good and true men, now laid dead, but whose memory as former members of this house and as builders of our Bahamas I pay tribute today. In so doing, Madam Speaker, I am drawn to that wonderfully moving poem by George Barker, whose closing lines express far more eloquently than I ever could the sentiments I bear towards these fallen heroes, some of whom I, once upon a time, fought hard against, but to all of whom I feel so fully reconciled today. I now reach out to them, in tribute through the poem whose lines are these, and I quote, "They are all there in my recollection now, golden-tongued, loud-mouthed, alive and dead. Not a word they uttered, not an inflection of those once glittering voices, or what they say fails to evoke an echo or an answer. From a devotion deeper than memory lends unto those voices then, the heart, like an old dancer, rises and takes hands with friends." End quote. As this is the last occasion